Right, you join us today and it's the third and final day of the Bron Eifion 3-day festival in memory of Mike from Tunnel Barn. So I've had 2 good days, first 2 days. I'm just going to have a little catch up. I drew peg 1 down there, the end peg, had a great day, got it wrong, but I wish I'd been up practicing because it's a lot of pace fishing in the right areas. That'd have given me a few more pounds, but I won section 117. That actually won the match as well. And then the second day I drew just behind the trees round there, like in line with the big lily bed, and I've just had a fisher chuck all day. I think I had 95 fish, weighed 118 pounds, I want to say. That was like third in the match. He fished really well. Andy Amos, he drew the end peg where I was. Me and him have drew the exact same pegs, and then Fred had 130 pounds, and then today I've drawn peg 12. Now this is a peg I've always wanted to draw. If you want to see a peg that you want to draw, look at that. It's on like a point of an island, middle of the lake. Now this is where Andy won the section from the first day at 117 pounds. So hopefully I can catch. I'm behind Andy on weight really. But he's drawn my peg from yesterday, and I feel like there's a lot of fish there and he'll catch enough. So we've got to try and catch a big weight. So it's going to be a nice and positive approach. I'm going to fish pace on a few lines, like move around a little bit. I need to plumb it up. There's a fish swirled there. So like in 3 lines maybe, just dot around, and then I'm just going to loose feed some pellets, because I learnt a lot about shallow when I was further down, and I feel like it'll put me in good stead for here when I just need to rest that pace line short and then go back out shallow. So I'm going to go get the rest of my gear and we're going to do a live match for you. So hopefully we can get the festival won, but we've got the chance to. The same as last year, but we messed it up last year. But this year I'm going to film the final day, because we should hopefully catch a load of fish on paste, a few on pellets, and it's going to be really technical. They don't jump on your hook, that's the best thing about here. They are really hard to catch. You have to really think about what you're doing and obviously put it into practice. But we've drawn a brilliant peg, flyer on the point of the island, looks lovely. Lodge is over there, so I'm just going to clear the rest of the stuff of the lodge out, just drop my poles off, and then I'll join you when I'm back on my box with a nice simple approach, and we're going to try and beat Andy Amos, which is hard to do. Right, that's 2 all in, so I'm just going to feed my paste line. So all I'm going to do is put a little bit of ripped up paste and some softened 4 mils. Just on my 6 metre line now. What I've done is I've fished, set up paste line here. Also I'm going to feed some pellets long just to get me range and just spill them. So I did do a little intro then, but I forgot to put my mic on. It's worked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loose feed a few pellets out here. Just want to get my range of my catapult to maybe rest my pole line for shallow. The main aim is we're going to fish that paste. So like I said before, I didn't put my mic on properly. I'm just literally going to get like a thumbnail size bit of paste. This has been the way to catch him to start with. It's been really good. Now I've got 2 different styles of paste. I've got a nice little soft one. I've got like one that I've made out of micros which won't break down. That's why I'm fishing. Bring forward. Drop it in. Now one thing I need to do is make sure I take a little bit of shot off, because I'm sitting a little bit too high for my liking. But it takes a little while just to get used to what right sized bit to get on. All over the gaff here. That's what you want the paste just fell off. That's how soft we want it to start with, and then what you can do is found if it gets really good, you can get a quick little run, just fishing tiny little bit. Yes. I'll look at you. so the fingers are starting. I just need to, impaled it. Fingers are starting. I just need to. You might need to put a bigger bit on if them fish are there because they'll attack it. The thing is with this, it's been quite instant when you catch them. Been a lot of fish in the short area, so having a couple of pace lines has been crucial, to be honest, because you can move around, and but also just keep that long line topped up. Oh, should have struck at that then. Wasn't watching. See, that's the issue I've got. If I don't concentrate, miss a few bites, but. Pass for where I'm fishing. Now one thing is, as soon as I start catching a fish on this line, I'll start priming another line up. That's what I don't want to do at the start. It's just literally, I don't want to put all eggs, like feed all lines and have fish everywhere. I know how crucial. No, that's so bizarre. Me just being silly. It normally takes a little while. And then you get a little run on it. Just make sure the paste at the back. Get on that mark now. So what I've decided to do is just fish. Quite positive on a few lines on paste. And then, literally I'm going to loose feed some 4 mils and then that longer line. This when normally I miss a bite now and then try to do something else. About that. So I mean it's a little bit deeper than what I've been used to. I think the deepest peg I've had is 3 foot, now this is like 4 foot, which is quite deep for this lake. But at the minute you just gotta persevere, try and just be nice and patient with it. By a chuck here. Right, so it's getting a bit pear-shaped, so just need to settle down. Getting a little bit, and just put a few 4 mils in. I think you're fine if they do catch a few smaller fish. You catch an odd, better fish, just about getting a little rhythm now. Trying to work out what size paste to put on. And which one. And just being nice and patient and working out what your bites are now. Once you start hooking a few fish, it gets a little bit easy. I thought that was going to go then. Start hooking a few fish, it gets a little bit easier by the minute. Trying to find a bit. Put a little bit smaller bit on. Got like a little thumbnail, like a pizza. So just drop that in. Feed a few 4 mils. Now this is important as well, not to get really giddy with the 4 mil. It's not the ideal start. We missed a few bites, a bit unsettled. Obviously didn't turn my mic on, which doesn't help. What's going on there? A minute now. I'm going to put a little bit stiffer bit on, like a smaller, stiffer bit. With this now, you see I don't even need to put it in my pot, it's that stiff. Just drop it down. Chuck a few 4s on. I just need to wait for it to bury now. Like I said, there might not be any fish there that are going to take it at the minute. Just might need to take a little while just to settle down. Once it does, then you get like positive indications of a few fish feeding. Keep that long line fed. It's not the start we wanted. Ideally, you just want to go in and clunk a few. Yeah, it's probably the worst start I've had on it actually. Last 2 days just been nice, just drop it in, bum 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 bum. But a little bit different conditions today, which is, say, worrying me, but it's been a little bit duller, a little bit overcast, a lot more breezy than today. It just feels a lot more warmer. Paste on there, get a sign. A little bit on again. One thing I might, there you go, that's it. That's what we want. That's what we're sort of after, that nice little clunking sound. Now, I have to be careful because recently these fish have been pinging off the last few days, which is crazy as well. You see the sides of this, you've got sort of like you're fishing for over the odd bigger one. But that's a stampers, but first fish in the bag. Just going to put a little bit of depth on, just an inch. Just feel like that might be a little bit better. So a bit tougher pace then. Ideal, nice little star. One fish in the bag. A bit scatty then. Fell all over the place. That's it. Floats in a little bit better now. Got my whole bristle out of the water. So now I can obviously read it a little bit better. finger one is like half down because it's quite hard to read, because obviously there's a few smaller fish in the peg, which is making it harder to read. The skimmers are pecking at it. See that there now? That's a bite. See, this is a little bit better now. It's strange, yesterday on the first day I had to fish really, really sloppy pace, so like just pro paced. Just fish pro paced, and then it was like really overweight. But yesterday that micro pellets just covered them. I actually got it off Paul Holland, so I can't take any credit for it, but little micro pellets, just boil, well not boil them, but put boiling water on them, let them soak, and then literally mash them into a nice paste, and it just makes everything dead easy. Very effective. It's just about like getting a little rhythm, getting things right. So like obviously I put a little bit of depth on then, which is important. Just converted that fish then. Oh, that's pulled my lassie out. That's how we want it. Way. Getting pole in the roll. That's how we want it. Just see that little bit firmer pace, just grab hold of it. And I just feel like it's important just to have the two set up, because it's important just to have the two set up, because when you can chop and change in like for different scenarios, like this might be a lot better, the stiffer one in a minute, and then when the fishing goes harder, or you might need to put a bigger bit on or something. But I just feel like it's been important the past few days. It's been really important to have the right paste on. Like I don't do a lot of paste fishing, but like I really enjoyed the fishing because I've learnt a lot about paste, like how to have your rig, how to like read your float, what's a bite sort of thing. Like sometimes you get that juddering and it just goes whoosh. Sometimes it just goes like that and you shouldn't strike at it like I have. See, I reckon if I left that then, without being silly, I reckon it'd have just buried. It's like the fish pick it up and they're eating it, you just pull it out of their mouths, I think. But it's all new to me this. I've done it a few times, but I haven't done it for years. But it's nice to just have a scenario where you can do it. Also, obviously loose feeding that long line. Gotta be careful here because it does go deeper slightly to the right. So obviously if I put my paste in the wrong place, paste in the wrong place is hard to see. That went down a weird bit then. A little tiny bit were better yesterday, but I think because it was shallow yesterday, I think that really helped. As we're here, it's a little bit deeper. So I'm just going to catch a couple more fish on this, and then I can open up another line up, just feed a bit of bait. And then, like you say, you can chop and change and rotate, and it just makes it a lot easier to catch them instead of plundering one line. Don't get me wrong, if the fishing's good enough. Just throwing in a few softened farmer pellets. Didn't even see that then. Just struck at no reason. You have to be quite busy with this fishing. So just keep that long line topped up. Could be a little banker just to catch a few fish and then come back short again. Yeah, that's it. That's what we want. In a minute, a little stiffer bit of paste seems the best, which three fish on that? Yeah, that's a fourth one. Yeah, that stiffer bit just seemed a little bit better. That was a tiny bit then as well. Just go out. It's a the beauty of the stiff one, it doesn't really come off. This is all over the place here. We just need to settle down. It's a 6 hour match, so we've got ages. I'm probably going to try and set my target of like 90, 100 fish again. See, what I need to work out is like, I do get a few signs and stuff, and it's just about being, like I said, really, really patient. Not striking at silly bites, and that's a bite then. That's it. See, this is what the start we've sort of had. Just took a few falls in. That's the start we've had, like. Lucky. That's what keeps happening, to be fair. Fish jumped in there. But that's the start we've sort of had, so I feel like at the minute, because there's a few fish everywhere, it just takes a bit of time just to settle them down, but little nightmare start. At the minute, catching a few fish now, which is good. So I just feel like I'm going to be not going to do too much today, to be honest. Going to literally loose feed this long line, just for a tick over line. When I caught them shallow the other day, I caught them really, really shallow, like 10 inch deep. Catch 2 or 3 and then nothing. So at least I know now I can like maybe feed my pace lines, go out, catch 2 or 3, come back short, maybe catch 1 or 2 on pace, then go back out. Might be sort of like rotational sort of day. Don't get me wrong, I'd love a day where you just literally drop in and just catch 1 or chuck on pace, but I don't feel like it's going to be that sort of day. See, that's moving around, come on, just nail that. Feel like just waiting for that really, really, really sharp indication. Just let that be on then. Keep hooking them in there. But yeah, just got a dead simple rig. There's nothing taxing. I've put a little bit of firmer bit on. Put a bigger bit. 2 pound piece. 2 4s as well. Yeah, but you can just shit past. Feed your bait and you just pull your rig into position. Your rig settle and then it just drops down, but I just feel you forget fish attacking it on the way down. So every time you strike, you're going to strike your bait off, so you just want to be nice and careful with it. Good to get in size, you just need to convert them fish to just about working out what your bites are. Like I said, being nice and patient. The minute you, that was a wallop. The minute you're gonna have different fish in your peg and different times, and just need to work out half a tree. You need to work out which is the best bait. What's the best bait to try and use? That twig. Yeah, 6 fish. Now, in the first 20 minutes, which is not bad. Yesterday I caught 20 first hour. But, see, that was wrong pellets. I'll try and catch one more for you, but yeah, after a little unproductive slow start, obviously I didn't press the mic before, the 2 minutes before start, so just run over what I'm going to do again. So I've got 3 pace lines, 1 on this tree, 1 where I am, and then 1 the same depth to the left, sorry, same depth, just to the right, to the left, in line with the aerator. And then I've got that long 30-metre line. Now I have set up a little waggler for on the bottom across, but I don't feel like it's going to be the place to fish. I just feel like if it was fishing a little bit harder and then he needed to do something, but that's on. That pulled me last to go. So I just got to be patient, I think, now. And then that's the sort of, like, we've got 3 little paste lines. I've not set any like edges up and ground bait. I just feel like I'm going to feed on these 2 lines here, left and right in front of me, right in front of me and left. I'm going to feed like bits of ripped up paste and softened 4mm. And then the one to my right, I'm going to feed a little bit of ground bait just to see if I can draw any bigger fish in, and then if I need to I can just change. So I'm trying to catch one more, but I'm going to keep my hands clean, but my pole's going to be filthy. But yeah, that was a dreadful start, to be honest. Like, all over the place, couldn't work anything out. Fishing inefficiently, and then all of a sudden got 7 fish in as quick as time just by trying to learn what the bites were, and so just keep it. You just need to be nice and patient, wait for that float to bury. Really, really sharp indications on the float. Imagine them fish eating the paste, and then work out which sort of paste we need. Do we need a nice bigger sloppy ball, or do we need a small stiffer, sort of like a 6 to 8mm piece on? That's where the stiffer one, it's going to be like 10, 12 or 14mm sort of size. So it just depends what's in your peg and what you're going to catch. But I'd love to see what, like, obviously the actual bites are just savage, but I'd love to see what's going on with your rig when it starts moving up and down. That's why just a little bit longer float is better. And I've just literally got a 0.5 power on there, just because it's a little bit thicker tip, a little bit stronger, but also I can read my bristle a little bit better. Now you could use a paste float, but I just like to use just a normal float. I don't feel like the need for big paste fishing, especially these little sort of like F1-y little carp sort of fishing. If you're fishing for bigger carp, then I feel like I'd use it, but not when you're fishing for these like pound fish, quite fast fishing. That's a bite, yes. I'll end on that one. I'll just throw a few fours in. Let me pull apart. So there's 8 fish. Horrendous start, but we've sort of settled now and just need to literally plunder away. Keep a few lines going. So I'll just feed the other line in a minute, feed that line there, and then got a couple of lines going on the go, but it's going alright at the minute. And hopefully we go and catch him. Now we're just coming up to nearly 2 hours in, just 10 minutes before, and it's going okay at the minute. I had a little run shallow after that first initial run on paste, and then literally I come back short on paste and had a mega run. I caught like 10 fish. Now they were very easy to catch as well, no stupid bites, dunk, and then all of a sudden I started to get stupid bites. And it's apparent that I've just run out of fish, so I tried to move to my left. I had 1 fish straight away, but then nothing. So then I've just literally thought, right now I'll just go shallow, try and catch a few fish, and then drop back short again. Yeah, that's a bite. Now, key to this shallow is what I learned the other day. Just keep feeding them paste lines up. What I learned the other day was literally fish quite shallow and move the rig all the time. Now, a lot of people fish overshotted on here, but I just don't feel like it's right. Fish are sitting quite high. I always find overshotting in open water is always better when they sit a little bit deeper because they're harder to catch on a normal rig. But when the fish are sat really, really high like they are, just got a little inline dibber, two number 11, and just set it, just fishing. Obviously like 10 inch deep at the minute. I've had a couple like 14 inch deep. Couple 14 inch deep, and then I've had nothing deeper, so it says to me it's exactly the same as the other day again. Now when you catch them as well, don't necessarily get them straight on your first initial slap, you can leave it hanging there. And then when you get a bit of bait coming in, the fish rise up and then obviously it intercepts your bait when it's there. It's still quite shallow out there, it's only 4 foot deep, which is deep enough to catch shallow in. Yesterday I had about 2.5 foot and I didn't even try to fish shallow, just fished on the bottom, but with this one now, especially going on after I've been feeding it. After I've been feeding it as well, I always think it's best just going a little bit shallower to start with, and then you can go a little bit deeper when you need that extra few bites. Now if that ripple comes across, it's coming like to the right, blowing down towards that bank. If it comes across, then the overshot it could become good because a bit of cover above the heads, but for the minute, I've just been fishing this little dibber. Like I said, that's 30 fish now, so I'm trying to average 15 fish an hour. Give me like 90 odd fish. That'll give me like, if the stamp's good and catch some carp later on, give you like 110, 120, which I'm going to need, ideally to win the festival. I need like 20, 30 pound more than Andy, but I just feel like he'll catch a 100 pound where he is today, so just because just felt like how many fish were there yesterday. So today I feel like I need like a 90-100 fish to do any good. I'm not feeding it very aggressively. Normally I feed a lot more aggressive with pellets, but just literally feeding like 8 pellets at the most, 8 to 10 pellets. Trying to keep it to the minimum. Sort of trying to starve them on the hook. Also as well, because of the depth, I'm just trying to be quite busy with it. Yeah, that's a bite. Trying to be quite busy with it. But it's going well at the minute. It's just, it's learning about them pace lines when they start to fade, they start to miss bites, literally. That little run I had, I must have caught 7 or 8 fish and I never missed a bite. Never missed a single bite, just went in, dunk, dunk, dunk. So I just need to keep them fed. Keep this long line fed, and then obviously it's a good tick over your line, and then a tiny bit bigger than it. Pull that one off. A tiny bit bigger than what they were last time on the dam wall. Trying to tangle my rig. It's just important just to make sure you're at the right depth. Nice big 4mm on. Yeah, we're not even 2 hours in yet. Just keep feeding them lines, not too many, just a few. So the ideal scenario is when you go on it, you don't need to feed anything. You just literally go in, catch a little run, and then you need to move. Say obviously more fish that start feeding, the stronger hopefully that'll become. And the beauty of also fishing a normal rig, you can have a go at mugging some carp. He's not had that. Come around for a second, girl. It's crazy, you think that like you're missing a few bites and stuff. They're actually F1s, I believe. There's an odd carp starting to swim through now and stuff. Like I said, I'm in the open water, so there's one there. Come on. How far is it? Where's he gone in? You can flick around if you've got a little rig on. Bit of a longer line. See, sometimes making a bit of noisy rig and then leaving it. That's been good. Just leave it and ping a few pellets over the top. Like I said, they are sitting quite high, so it rules everything out of like trying to fish through the water and trying to fish a little bit deeper and everything like that. You just got that lift and drop, lift and drop. So this is exactly the same as that. Sort of like pace fishing, you're not going to get a run of 20 odd fish on it straight away. I might have to go deeper if I need to. Just need them carbs to keep whizzing through and give me a chance of looking at this one. Oh, he's gone in, not a chance. Spooked him. See a little plucks on the float and I don't feel like they're roach either. Just got to keep working it. That's a little update at the minute, it's going alright. I feel like I'm in a little river now, I feel like I understand that pace fishing. Instead of just trying to clatter it on one line and thinking I'm going to catch 70, 80 fish off one line and there's many chunks in it. It's not the case, you have to just keep resting it. Yeah, that's a bite. This one just shows about fishing, getting on the bank and fishing, because if I didn't come on catch any fish shallow the other day, I wouldn't have really knew, and it's put me in good stead today. I'm not messing around trying to think I need to catch sort of like trying the deeper rigs and stuff. But yeah, there might be an odd fish deeper, but personally I don't feel like there's going to be many fish a little bit deeper. I'm going to go a little bit deeper on my jibber though. Just another 14 inches just to see. If I miss a few bites and stuff, I'll come off it. But just feel like 10 to 14 inches where they obviously get caught. When I've come on here before catching a few fish, that's exactly how I've caught them. I never caught them any deeper. Whether it's because of the depth of the lake or the way the fish feed, and so everywhere's a little bit different. See, that was a plot then. See, I'm convinced they're F1s. Obviously it's falling through. They're just so fast and erratic. And clever as well. Yeah, that's got to be. No way there, roach. That's what I mean, if you fish a little bit deeper you can have this problem. And 4 or 5 quick fish, let them pace lines build up again. See, that was a liner. You wouldn't think that like that 4 inches would make a massive difference, and obviously it does. So now I know there's fish in my peg now. Obviously I'm fishing a little bit too deep. Yeah, see, that was on the drop now. So I might be best just, I'm not going to rule it out. Oh, 6 rolls. Oh. See, that's exactly what I wanted to tell me, that I need to just fish. My other rig. Be nice and patient and take the chances when the fish come in, because they're obviously there. Obviously if you fish at the right depth, don't be wrong, I could have a go at 12 inches as well if I need to. That carp's dying to get out. But say get some soft falls, feed that pace line, feed that one. Like I said, just because it's sat so high, it just sort of rules out like a different way of fishing, so it keeps everything dead simple. See, just a couple of pellets, just got to trick them. Keep lifting and dropping. Slap to make a bit of noise, like you mimic your pellets coming in. There's carp coming in here. tight. I was watching that carp then. If you just keep your pack shot tight and everything, you can get a little run, so it's a nice little 10-minute scenario. Just ticking over, obviously. Pace fish have been a little bit bigger, but it's about understanding it. Caught like a few fish on little bits of paste, and then a few bits. I love that carp. Where's he gone? Oh, he's turned away. Bugger. Quite spooky, that carp, to be honest. So just keep that in the area where I need to. Little bits of bait, lift and drop, trying to sneak them on. That noise is crucial. Like I'll keep waffling on, but I'm going to go and then obviously try and get some, so we'll come back and hopefully when we get a little run on pace, it's a little bit more, something different, interesting. But yeah, in a minute, 2 hours in, we've got 33 fish, which is bang on target. I want to try and get to 90-100 fish. That was a bang then. 90-100 fish, so hopefully we can. That was a bite again. Might even take a couple of inches off this if I need to. But yeah, keep an eye out for some carp swimming through. Hopefully keep plodding on. Trying to catch a few. Now, sorry to interrupt the video, but don't forget to like and subscribe. It just helps with the channel, and I'll let you get back to the rest of the video now. Right, so we're just over halfway through, so we got 2 hours 20 left. And to be honest, that shell line is ridiculous. I've got to 63 fish, and I've just come off it now because it's just I had to rest it, so I just dropped on this paste. I've had one about £3 on it, and then I've not really caught. I've just started to get an odd bite on it as well now, which I feel like I've just got to put a bit of bait in. I just lost one then as I come on camera, or before I come on camera, took me into like a snag down here. Now, one thing I'm thinking is I'm trying to get like 110 fish. They are surprised. Just put a little bit of bait in. That seemed to like get them going. I didn't throw it, I just put it in the paste. But what I feel like I need to do now is just stay away from that long line. Keep resting it. Keep it nice and rested. There's a carp swimming around there. And just keep persevering with these short lines. So trying to chuck a bit of ground bait in there. Now, one thing that keeps happening is an odd carp swimming around, which is, I've had a couple. So I think I've had like 5 bigger fish and then the rest F1s and little carp, but not too small, but not like tiny fish, which is good. It's what I need, but I just feel like I need to rest it now. I went and had a quick go on a 16-inch overshot rig. That was really good for a bit. And then obviously my dibbers between 10 and 14-inch deep was really good. But for the moment, I just thought I'd give myself a try and get to 2 hours to go and see if I can get to like 70 fish. But just by fishing paste and let that long line rest. I've got 3 lines so I can drop on. I don't really get any signs on this line here, which I'm on. I can drop onto my left hand line, have a little look. That was it. That was what you wanted. But the only thing I think might happen now is it's an odd carp swimming around, and when they've been swimming around, they've been swimming around quite close. Obviously, I'm like in the middle of the lake on a point. So all I need them to do really is just get their heads down and start on that feeding that short line, but I'm in a mega position. Just need to like set myself a little target, like 100, 110 fish, and then hope I catch some bigger ones. And then that might give me a nice little ghost in that one. That might give me a proper little good head start. That's really deep under my feet, so that's why I'm dropping the odd fish in, because it's quite deep in front of me. It's like 3.5 foot straight off the end. But just a nice soft bit's been best. Mould it into like a little stodgy 10mm ball. Clean my hands. Covered in crap. Yeah, it's been mega at the minute. Got a little bit of white tape on my pole. Put my paste in, hold my 4 and 5 section, and as it's coming round and settling up, just loose feed. Now one thing, like I said before, one thing I noticed and one thing that's going to help me now is when I catch a few, I don't really have any problems, so I don't miss any bites. As you see that one there, it just went plump, straight under, like that one. I never thought that anywhere as that one flew under. I don't really miss any bites. That's probably the first one I've missed since I've dropped on it. I've not had many bites, but I haven't missed them, which is ideal. But as soon as you start missing them, it goes silly again. A lot of indications. I'm just going to move, put a bit of bait in and move, because I feel like I need to regroup them. Oh, it's mega fishing. Just loose feeding that long line, not feeding loads on it. Probably 10 pellets twice, if that. Just feel I just need to keep loose feeding and drawing some fish in, because that was really, really good. Whether it's because you're in the middle of the lake and there's a lot more fish here, there's bites. But that's just what I feel like if you can get this pace right. Ooh, and then take the pick away. More like a point, there's like a baby behind me that keeps trying to go in. Like that. Let's go around the corner. Come on, pal. I need a little as well. Feed that line there. Give it a little nugget there. That's what I mean. You've got to keep everything ticking along nicely. So I've got 65 fish. So we're getting a few bites on this short pole now. It's a lovely little mirror, that one. See, if they're the stamp we catch short, they're like little weight builders. Dropping in. Little weight builders. You can't moan at that. Nice soft bit. So you can bury my hook right at the bottom of it, make a little nice little bowl. Some don't really do a lot of pace fishing, but it's so deadly. When you eat it, it's just that you eat it. There's no messing around. There's none of these bites where you think, oh, when it's on. Don't get me wrong, you do get a few weird indications and stuff, but I feel like when fishing's good, you just literally don't miss them. I'm not loose feeding over the top because I don't want to cause anything crazy at the minute. But what I might do is, if it does go quiet or, like say, get some weird bites, I might literally just put like 24mm in my cup, soften down ones, and just put them in with it. Say we're not getting loads of signs on the float now. That's a little indication now. Go on. Yeah, that's it. That's perfect. Like wobble up and down for a bit and then literally wobbled up and down and just went whack. That's what we want. These are the stamp of fish we're going to need. But like I said before, I just want to get to 2 hours to go with like the old bad bit of netting. The cliche. Nice one. Come out the net, that one. 60 odd on that one. Not big enough to go in my cart now. Now one thing I did do as well, I just changed my hook length from a size 14 GPM to a size 12. And just that, I think it's just coincidence. I'm in a few more bites. I just think it's time of day as well. But I think it's time of day massively. I'm just making a bit. Put a few 4mm. They're not going to make any noise when I'm tapping them in now. Put them on the water. They haven't gone in. I think the foremels went in, but my paste didn't. This couldn't go well, this would chock. I might miss a bite here. Oh, maybe not. That's absolutely solid. It's ridiculous. That's what we needed, that sort of like consistency now. If you think we can catch this quick short, all it's going to do, if it does die, all I'm thinking now is keep them other two lines, paste lines fed, just to trickle a bit in, not going to lash it in, and then if it does die, I can literally go back out shallow and hopefully they've like sort of regrouped and I can get a stupid run which I got like last time. Like I said, it's all about knowing what the best way is to catch them. If you're doing a silly way, and the best way is either flick like a 10-inch dibber, and then if fishing goes a bit weird, you can catch them a little bit deeper on an overshot rig. Tried a jigger, but it wasn't right. I had one fish in it. But you're going to need them little bit bigger stamp fish to hopefully try and compete. But so you're fishing the right baits to catch them in the right areas on the short pole and stuff. It's not like I have had a couple on my shallow line, but it's not really where you're going to catch them properly if they do start to feed. If they do start to feed, this is where they're going to eat it. But as you've seen there, I've missed one bite on camera. That's how the difference now. It's just like put like a big thumbnail 50pp size on, obviously mould it into like 20mm boilie sort of like consistency, or like size I want to say, and then just sit. The carp's trying to get out, and then just sit there and just be really patient. Like sometimes, obviously the bites I've had when I've been talking to you now been a little bit different. Some of them are like floats dipped under and then just gone. Other times it's just gone wallop. Just depends what they do when they come in your peg, I think. So it might be prolific, but like this is what it did before. On this pace, you caught like 6 to 8 in a foot on deck. I'm not going to need to come off this and then just stop getting bites. Which you can imagine, you're not going to absolutely empty it on one line all day. The weekend, nothing's been like that the weekend. It's been absolutely key to like rotate your lines and prime them up and make sure you give yourself a chance of attacking them. That's where you'd think if you're catching like nearly 115, 120 pound each day, you think, oh, that's really good fishing, the stamp of fish. Like catching 100 fish, it'd just be silly and you just catch like 10-inch deep, but it's not the case. You have to really think about it. That was a wallop there. You have to really think about it. So like I'd be hoping with 4 hours in, which we're coming up to in a minute, that like 60 fish was the target, but obviously I'm going to get to like 70. So we got 10 over the target, so that'd be like 100 fish if I carry on at this rate, but I feel like obviously it's a bit slower on this pace compared to shallow, but obviously the stamp's a bit bigger, so you just got to play it by ear. If I can catch well on pace, I reckon I'll stay on it, but that's what I'm thinking at the minute. Oh, in the barm, you're right. But I know how fast I can actually catch shallow, which is scary when they're there. So if they come back to like they did, I won't hesitate to have a quick go shallow, because I'd easily put 20 fish in the net in an hour. While you're like then, if you're doing that, you're like priming your other lines back on. Just gonna put a few 4mm in. It's nice simple fishing, but so like technically you've got to get it right. And obviously I've been on here for this is the 3rd day now, so same lake, speaking to a few people as well. You learn so much about the fishing, which is perfect, really. So we'll just see if we catch one more. Hopefully we will. That gets to our 70 fish target. That's an indication there. I feel like I'm due a miss bite though, because I haven't missed one for like 3 or 4 fish. A lot of the time I've missed a couple. I've like feeding or looking round. That fast when you do catch one on pace, the bites. You have to really, really concentrate. There's nothing better when it just slams under. You give it a whack, and obviously I've got 13 toller in a long kit. Just feel like that's a nice elastic for this. Obviously if the fish were bigger I'd step it up, but don't get wrong, there is a few bigger 8, 9, maybe 10 pounders in the lake, but the average stamp's probably like from £1 to £3, so I don't want to go too heavy and too gun-ho, because obviously I've had a few nightmares of fish pinging off in a minute, especially on this lake, just the way they're feeding, so don't go too aggressive with it. So let's just calm down, lovely that has now. It's going to go in a minute, come on. Oh, I knew I'd missed that. Struck too early on that one. Got a bit giddy. Try a little bit smaller piece, just a little bit smaller. Then just loose feeding that long line all the time. Like little and often. Making a bit of noise. Seems like they like a bit of noise today. As well when it tunneled, obviously overshot is massive there. But they didn't like the noise. It seems today they actually like a bit of noise coming through the peg, which is helping the caption. So I did clatter and probably caught like a run of 25 fish or like that on that long line. Literally ridiculous. So maybe I might catch one more for you on camera where I am now, and then I'll just spin round to my left, see if I can get a bite there. It's moving now, so just go on, wallop under. Feel like I've exhausted this a little bit now, so what I might do is just literally put my cupping kit on, feed like 30 or 44 mils, maybe a couple of bits of ripped up paste, and then how's that look on that left hand line? See if we can get a bite in. If we don't, that's wallop. Across the fingers, mate. Don't feel like there's loads and loads of fish in the peg moving around, which is what you want ideally. Don't want anything giving you hassle, just want nice steady bites, which I'm getting at the minute. It's lovely fishing. Couldn't ask for anything better, but they are on a flyer. But still got to work it out. Still got to catch them. Oh, the stamp's massive, which is so ideal. That's a proper one, that one. Yeah, boy. You snap me? No. No, she popped off. Alright, so I chuck him in the net. Chuck him in the net. It's a nice stamper, that one, so I'm going to keep persevering. See how we get on. I'll come back hopefully when we catch in a few more. Right, we're coming up to the last 9 minutes now. And we had a slow period, like, I want to say, just before the last hour, where I didn't really catch anything, caught nothing. But then, literally, I think I got lucky. I've caught an odd one shallow again. And then I've caught some carp. I mugged 2 carp, and then I've just caught one on pace then. So, got 9 minutes left. Hopefully, get another 2. I caught that fish really quickly after I put my bait in. Now I'm just hoping that it can just go again and get a nice little run. But It's such a strange. I didn't really get any bites, and it seemed like the lake just died. I stopped getting any signs on the peg, but then just kept loose feeding that long line. Nicked an odd fish on pace, but not many. And the one thing is, I'm not really getting any bites when I go shallow now, other than overshot it and just out the blue sort of bites, like as before. I was getting some bites on my dibbers, and then I could have a little run on a certain type of rig. But as the day's gone on, it's just that's not the case. Maybe just ran out of fish. Ran out of fish, but just thought I'd end on pace because that gives yourself a chance of catching a bigger fish there. As where if I get 2 or 3 bites shallow, it could be only like 2 or 3 pounds. As where I've had 1 bite on pace, which is like 3 or 4 pounder. Do you know what I mean? If you get 2 or 3 of them compared to your F1s, just the gamble I'm going to take. Well, it's not such a weird thing with the paste. You're not getting loads and loads of this. It just sits there and goes. Not getting many signs, as where I think there was an odd skimmer and stuff in my peg early, where when I first started on it, it was like jittery and it didn't settle in the peg properly. It's using a carp again, but you get a random carp just swim through now and again and show itself. But I've had a couple in my feed just out of the blue. The things just come through, and like I said, I really think they're in tune with noise at the minute. Can end on a couple of carp now. That could be really good, but just not sure. Come on, it's bobbing around. What's it doing? Be a little fish, I think. I did it before where it bobbed around like this and then ended up being a carp, but yeah, it's definitely. I think if I drew this the first day, I wouldn't have had as much as I've had today, but I've had like a couple of days. There you go, that's a bite. A couple of days to get used to like sort of the fishing. Once you get used to sort of fishing, where's it going now? You can really be in tune with it, like you don't pick up, don't feel foul, don't feel looked at the mouth. I thought that was the case because it's a little bit foul up, but you don't foul up many on paste, just the odd one maybe. Seems a smaller fish, that one. Just go back in. I'm not feeding really many other lines now. I've only got 5 minutes left. Like I said before, I'll give it a tickle in case my rig breaks a shallow line, but I'm not planning on going out there. So I'd rather hedge my bets and catch 2 fish on this short line than chance it with 2 fish shallow, like I said before. I felt like all the bigger fish, all the bigger stamp fish, you can catch on this short pole. Quite an aggressive, maybe I should have wound that then. Leave it, might go again. See, they're the ones you think are a bite, but that's a bite. Like that fish has just like come round, just had a go at it and then come back round and then come back and at it. What's this now? It's a little carp. Try and catch one more, but yeah, it's been a mega match. That shallow line was ridiculous when it first went on it, but never come back as what I expected it. Maybe that's the case. You just get a little run on it and then that's that. But ball. We've got left 3 minutes. Could get another one now. Hopefully just drop in and go one thing I did do when I come off it last time, I went back shallow for a little bit, is I put like a nugget of over wet ground bait in, just felt like I needed to draw something in. Didn't feel like them 4 mils were drawing anything in. I'm not too fussed about feeding a bit of ground bait, even though it's 4 foot there. I just feel like it'll attract fish in the peg, and obviously, because you've got a big bit of paste on, it's not like fishing with, like, say you were tapping in hard pellets there. You wouldn't really do that with ground bait, but with paste, you just want to attract them into your peg, getting grubbing round, and then when they see that big blob of paste on the bottom, they just slurp it up. I think it doesn't really matter too much what you feed, just is it attractive enough. I know a lot of people feed hemp with it, get the fish grubbing round. That might have been worth bringing. But you're never too sure, and that's why you should come and experiment really. And like I say, if it had been before, you might have a better idea of exactly what to feed over the top. Maybe little nuggets of ground bait when you're not fishing it was better, but it's easy to say after the match, like in the time. But I just caught well. I spoke to Andy as well, and he's just fed a few 4 mil pellets and just kept things nice and neat and simple. There, that's a bite. Come on. It's gone a bit weird there, but the guy picking up behind me's not helped. Just upset him a little bit, banging around, but it's one of them things. Looking to settle. One more chuck, you might get one, might not. It's going to be the all out in any second now, so. But about being nice and patient. When I first went on, when I got that mega run on this, you just literally would sit there now and just go dunk. It's mint fishing, it's just. That's the all out. So get packed up. We'll get packed up, see what we weighed in, but I'm gonna need £30 more than Andy if I'm gonna win the section. So win the festival. So we'll see what we've got, see what we weigh in, and then go from there. Right, so we're all weighed in now, and that's the end of the festival. We've just done the presentation, so we ended up today with £130 10 ounces, which won the match only just. Andy Amos had £130, but because he had that weight, he's had 3 section wins as well, same as me, but he's had £27 more than me, so well done Andy. He's been on the same set of pegs as me the day after me, so it's one of them things, he's done it a lot better. And I was talking to him last night and we were having a conversation, because I speak to Andy about everything I do, because he's helped me so much in the past when I was a junior. Like, I remember him taking me to Western and me fishing paste and stuff like that years ago. I'm talking like 12, 14 years ago. He took me on the wing then, he lent me some kit when I fished for international fishing, he's done everything for me, so I'm chuffed that he's won. He's done really well. Oh, hang on. Yeah, camera malfunction then. He's done really well. He's had the same pegs as me. He's done a little bit better than me. A bit more in tune with that pace fishing, and I wish I'd come up for a little practice. So that's 2 festivals now where I feel like if I put a little bit more time in, I'd have caught a few more fish and I'd have had a chance of winning with the Diver Pole Masters and with this one. But it's been mega fishing here. Thanks to Kev, Carol, Lee, that do all the results and everything of the fishing. It's mega. If you can see, there's the lodges. So you see, last year we were staying in the lodges, we were just a bit further down, but this is my peg today. 130, match win, mega days fishing. But you've seen that second to last hour, that faded, just cost me that. Kev put a prize up for £150, which I was trying to achieve, but mega days fishing shallow, page fishing, learned a lot about that. Definitely want to come back and do a video on it, because I feel like I've learnt loads and I can put it back into my channel and help you guys. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.